All right. So my name is Robin Whitworth, and I am the CEO of the Elevated Mother brand. And we have a program called the Elevated Mother Experience, and we have a graduate program called the Solid Ground Mastermind. And I have with me today Ashley, who has graduated our Elevated Mother program, and she's moved into the mastermind. And she would like to share some of her experience. Whoever's watching this, somebody's watching this.
Hey.
Ashley, give us a little snapshot. Tell us a little bit, if someone would just peek into your life, tell us about you a little bit.
So I'm a mom of five. I have four boys and a girl right in the middle. She's right in the middle. And I live in the Pacific Northwest. I grew up on the West Coast, and my husband works a lot, 6 months of the year. And I do stay home with my kids. I'm so grateful for that. I do stay home with my kids. So when I came into the program, I was, let's see, 15, 16 months postpartum after my fifth baby. And just feeling kind of stuck, I've always been like a very goal oriented person. For the last 10 years, I've had my own health and wellness business and very much believe in personal development and love reading personal development books, love listening to motivational speakers. Something that really resonates with me. So when I had a friend posting about her stuck, you know, postpartum period with anxiety, I didn't know what she was doing, but I was intrigued. And I thought I knew what I was supposed to be doing because I had had four babies before this. And but for some reason I just felt very I don't know, just like in my head, right? Just like thinking the same thoughts over and over again and kind of, you know, frustrated. And yeah, and I was having some health problems too. And I was like, oh, and I was approaching my 40th birthday and I was thinking, oh, why is this so much harder than it's ever been? So yeah, that's what kind of drew me in at first.
So you saw somebody posting and they were talking about this program. You resonated, reached out. So when this person shared with you, it was probably one of our elevation specialists, probably Missy Reber.
Yep.
What did she say, or did you read or whatever that you're like, yeah, I'm resonating with this specific, I don't know.
I'm sorry.
It's all right. If you don't know this already and you get in our program, we let it all flow.
She said something like, every mom at some point in their motherhood journey deserves to be like coached and be like seen and heard. And I don't know how she knew that I needed to hear that, but because life is so busy with kids, I was just like, doing so much for my kids, of course, like every mom does. And I was sort of drowning, right? And we put so much into our kids that like we sometimes get lost because we think, or at least I thought that, like, if I just help them a little more, if I just do this, help them solve their problems, almost in like a hovering helicopter mom kind of way, then I will feel better. Or as they get older, I will feel better and they need me less. And then I slowly realized that that was just not true at all. That I actually had to like step back and reevaluate and stop dreading my calendar every week because there was just like no room left for me. Yeah.
I know some of this emotion is coming up for you because you've now been in our space and you've seen the other side. And so to go back to that old mindset, it's like,
I know, right?
what was I doing thinking that was normal?
Right.
Right? So you came in the program.
Mm-hmm.
Tell us kind of what were you expecting versus what actually happened, or was it exactly what you thought?
it wasn't exactly what I thought in a positive way. Um, I think like my background as a nurse, I'm like used to like going into situations kind of analytically and skeptically. I'm like, where's the evidence? Like, show me the scientific process, and then I'll tell you where the result is, right?
Yeah.
So that's sort of like my mindset, which is helpful for that setting, but maybe not like in my own life. And so I had like a fair amount of skepticism, like, um, is this just going to be someone that is like telling me what I'm doing wrong and then I can like fix that.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I also like there was a different energy around it that you can't really explain. Like I can't still totally explain. So I decided that instead of like living in this skepticism like I had been doing for so long, I was just going to trust and hold on to the hope and see if it was different. And what I learned is that it was this non-judgmental space, and people say non-judgmental, but like I really mean it is this non-judgmental group of Christian moms who um they just hear everyone's problems, and some of them are so like heartfelt and heartbreaking, but at the same time it's no one is judged for it. Like I had several conversations in the group where no one gasped when I told them something I was thinking or feeling, or like that I dreaded, going to another one of my kids' games, right? No one gasped at that. And in fact, I just found it's not a space where women come and complain about their problems. It's where they just are looking to help change themselves so that they can change everyone around them. I mean, um, that's what I realized. I can only change myself.
What a beautiful realization too, to just be like, wait, I've heard of unconditional love. I've heard of non-judgment. Have I actually been in a space like that before? And that is one of the things that we have heard from a number of clients, is that that experience was one of the first time in their life that that was true for them, that they actually felt it. So you went into our program and found a safe space, is kind of what I'm hearing.
Mhm.
And as you were working through the material and kind of getting to know the program and how we run things, what were some of your favorite pieces? We've got workbook, we've got an online portion, we've got one-on-ones, we've got group sessions, we've got retreats, we've got, I mean, different aspects. What is some of the highlights or things that you've loved? Tell us about that.
I love the weekly group coaching sessions. You can just submit what's going on, or what's a particular thing, even with your kid, with your spouse, with anything that you need coaching on. And sometimes people will submit things and it's not actually something I'm struggling with, but the way that we're coached on it, I still learn something, right? Um, I love the group coaching sessions. I also really love the one-on-ones because, and with a different specialist, because I felt like, even though it's like kind of scary hopping on a Zoom call with someone you really don't know, I felt like they were able to like, I don't pull things out of me that I wasn't even aware of, right? So the one-on-ones I thought were just pivotal. But probably my favorite part was the retreat in April.
Mm,
Um, yeah, it just
the retreat.
so I don't know how to explain it. Just so like so spiritual, so many down to earth people. Like when I got there, I sat and talked to a girl in the group. I knew her before online. I knew her before this, but I sat and talked to her for like 3 hours. Oh my gosh, it's just like so I'm not sure fun is the right word in that. I mean, yes, it was fun,
I
but
know
just
what you mean.
fulfilling. That's the word.
Yes, that's a good word.
Yeah.
It's like women need women.
Yes.
I sit on the couch and just talk to you.
Yep.
Good. Oh, that's beautiful. I loved the retreat and I was there too, so I got to see Ashley. Tell us then, you've been doing this work. One of our program promises is that you'll make progress, that you'll feel like you're going to have maybe better boundaries or a lighter feeling in your life. Or so tell us, what are some of the wins? We call them wins in our program. What's some of the biggest progress you've made, or a single instance or a bigger feeling? Like, tell us one of the things you're most proud of or excited that happened in just, I mean, months.
I think like my biggest one win day in, day out is that I'm not as reactive because I'm not feeling as overwhelmed as I did 7 months ago. So when kids fight or when they, whatever, right? Whatever the day-to-day stress, getting kids places and, dealing with kids' emotions, my own emotions, or whatever, I'm just not as, my nervous system isn't freaking out as much as it used to, and I'm not reacting. And it's not
And
that I'm like suppressing it. I really just don't, I just feel calmer. Yeah.
so what does that mean to you? Like, to not have that reactivity, who does it affect? I mean, obviously it's
I
affecting
mean,
you, but
everyone. I mean, I think it sets the whole tone in my house. That doesn't mean I don't like ever lose my temper. I mean, I'm not professing perfection or anything like that. I'm just saying it just affects everything and everyone. Like I don't have to, freak out about all the things. I don't have to let my old type A perfectionist controlling personality try and dictate everyone because like that's just not possible. But because I'm sleeping better, because I'm less worried, because I'm just like feeling better, I have less brain fog and more mental clarity. Like I know it's not like all the little pieces are just kind of fitting together. And I just expect that to continue.
that's huge. That's huge. Moms, are you hearing this? That we can have less brain fog. We can have, and yes, like nutrition, supplement, lifestyle affects that, but what you've learned in this program about you and how you're working through things, oh man, that's powerful. That's powerful. So, someone watching this is considering our program. They have hesitations, maybe like you, really skeptical, like I've done other stuff.
Mhm.
You came in, you've done a lot of work, I would say. Like you read books, you understood the concepts. So what do you say to her if you were to meet her at the park on a park bench and she's just like, hey, I saw you did this Elevated Mother program. I'm
Mhm.
really skeptical for similar reasons. What are you going to tell her?
I would just say that although I have done a lot, in the personal development space, I've never done anything this personal.
Mm,
So even though I've read books and I know the principles, I needed to know specifically like how I could use it. And I needed like a specific um, community and a specific, like, I needed the workbook to show me like what I really wanted to change. And I needed to like get it on pen and paper. All that sounds like very simple. Like, why couldn't you just do this on your own? And like my ego says like I should have been able, my old ego, okay, should have says I should have been able to do that on my own. But I think there's so much more power, and with doing it with other people. And I remember you telling me, Robin, like we're just too close to our own personal lives sometimes to like work out the things that we need help with. We're just too close, right? And for someone to be able to come in without judgment and like really help us with stuff, it's not weak or bad or there's nothing wrong with it. It's like just a beautiful thing. And I would just say to like trust your gut. Um,
mm.
because if I had gone with that skepticism that I was like kind of feeling, I'm like, I'm not sure scientifically if this works. And then I would just still be where I was.
Yeah. And it's kind of like, what's at stake in that place? If you
Yeah.
didn't do the program,
Yeah.
what would still be happening? Yeah.
Yeah.
You'd look at your friend and be like, so how much longer do you want this to be your truth?
Right. Right.
That's kind of how, I imagine that conversation would probably be, because we have other clients too that have come in with, kind of an analytical way of, well, what's the process? What's the thing? And an idea that they should be able to do things alone. That's powerful. That's a really powerful testimony to that concept that having other people to do it with and normalize your experience is actually kind of healing.
Yeah. Well, and it's the right kind of people, right? Like it was the right kind of community, and that made all the difference.
It's huge. So, any last words of wisdom? Something you just really want to share with the people that watch this? For the mom
Mhm.
that's wondering, like she's sitting in her house being like, can it be different?
Yeah.
Is what Robin's talking about. Is it really possible? I mean, really, like really, is it worth the money? Like, we have a lot of women watching these
Mhm.
testimonials. They're like, is it worth it though? And what if my husband thinks it's weird? What do you say to them?
Well, it's okay if your husband thinks it's weird. First off, it's all right. There are a lot of things we don't understand about men. I mean, and I don't know if I ever will. There are a lot of things men don't understand about women. That's okay. Um, I think, like, have you ever been in this like experience where you like witnessed a mom doing something a certain way and you're like, how did, like, the way she treated her child or talked to her child, like kneel down, and like, I don't know, just like the presence someone had with their kids, or it could be not related to motherhood, the way they approached their goals or something. For me, like a big like testimonial has always been how other people take like a situation that's similar to mine and they react completely differently, they act differently, they proceed with everything differently. And that's what I was witnessing in this group with the women. I was like, okay, there must be something that they know that I don't. I'm not mad about that. I'm just realizing I can learn what they've learned too.
Yeah,
um so yeah,
that's right. It's there. It exists.
yep.
Well, thank you so much for your time.
Yep. Thanks,
So good
Robin.
to hear your experience and your willingness to share it with other people.
Yeah.
So we will let you go and have an amazing day. And whoever watches this will be like, I watched Ashley's testimonial and it was like
I
me.
watched her cry.
Everyone does. Tell them, don't they cry? And the coach, like, this is just the thing. You got to let the energy move, right?
Yep.
Yes. All right. Well, have a
All
good
right,
day, my friend.
Robin, you too.